Hey, yo, what's up, everybody? It's Ryan Miller checking in for episode 62 of GST's Your Question, My Answer. Today's topic is brought to us by a person who doesn't want to be named, but they want to know what is the best way to spend their recovery time. For you, Anonymous, I want to make sure that we're clear on one thing right up front. The three key ingredients that you need to have in mind at all times, whether it comes to a goal of strength gain, muscle growth, or fat loss, you need to make sure that you have your training in check, meaning that you need to be training hard and you need to be training with methods and a program that actually work. Now, you also need to have your nutrition in check. You need to be eating with reason, meaning that your nutrition approach is centered and focused on moving you towards your goal. Now, also, number three, this is the part that you asked about specifically. And number three is recovery. You need to make sure that you're taking the time you need between each training session. The body takes time to repair and rebuild, and you need to have that time, and you need to spend that time well. So I guess the big question becomes, define well. How do you spend your time recovering well? What I want to do to illustrate my point and to move through this video defining well is lay out two different scenarios, and I want to have you tell me which situation or which scenario seems more optimal for recovery between training sessions. So let's start with person A. Person A wakes up early and hits the gym hard at 5 a.m. Afterwards, they go to work, they put in their hours at their full-time job, and they then come home and they train again at 5 p.m. Now, person B wakes up, they don't train, but they go to work. They put in the same hours at the same job, and they come home at 5 p.m., then they train. Now, what they do is they come home after training, they hang out, they watch some TV, and they get a good night's sleep. After they wake up, it's the next day, it's the morning, they hit the gym hard at 5 a.m. So the point here is that you have person A and you have person B. They both trained twice in the same overall period of time, and they both had the same amount of hours between those two training sessions. So my question to you is, just based on your gut feeling and your natural instincts, which person do you feel had a better second training session? So within your gut, with your instinctual feeling, you should be definitely answering person B. And that's totally understandable because we've all been in the situation where we could have gone to train that evening, but instead we just didn't feel our best mentally or physically, and so we got that good night's sleep, and then we trained the next day, and we felt so much better going into the gym that next day than we would have felt going in the night before prior to getting sleep. Now, sleep is so important to recovery. Sleep is the ultimate time when your body can reboot mentally and repair physically. And you need to have both mental and physical repair complete, or primarily complete, before you hit that next training session. Because one, you need to be focused, and that is a mental aspect. And two, your body it needs to be ready. You need to be strong and energized, and that is the physical aspect. So sleep really is the optimal way to spend your recovery time between training sessions. So I'm here speaking to you, Anonymous, and what I want to say is the moral of the story is that if you want to make sure that you are feeling your best for every coming training session, you need to have two main keys in check. You need to have enough physical hours between your training sessions to feel good about that next session. And you also have to make sure that a good portion of those physical hours was spent getting some rest, some actual sleep, a good night's sleep. If you don't do these things, what you're going to find is that your training sessions just aren't going to feel right. You're not going to feel on. It's going to be very rare that you feel like you're in that zone. You might go to the gym and you might go through the motions, but hard training and really maximizing the hours in the gym isn't about just going through the motions. It's so much more than that. And what I found, and in myself and what I found in others that have been in these situations is there's going to be times where you do push yourself and you train at a higher frequency than you should. So you really don't allow enough hours between training sessions, and you don't get the sleep that you should be getting between your training sessions. But mentally, you really want to hit the gym because you love it. Physically, you're not quite ready. And there's going to be times where your brain takes over and it pushes you to hit the gym too frequently for long periods of time. And what you find when you actually regroup and reassess and get yourself back in check, usually just because you're feeling like crap, what you find is that it's actually truly amazing how much better your training sessions feel in focus, in overall energy, and in strength levels once you've got yourself reassessed and you've checked yourself in terms of recovery time. You've taken those extra days off where you need them. You've reduced your training frequency to a more healthy frequency. And it's truly amazing. If you haven't felt this phenomenon, it means that you're doing a good job because you're actually taking the time that you need between your training sessions. But a lot of us have felt that because a lot of us who have a passion for training, it's mentally tough to stay out of the gym. And so we go sometimes too often, and we only realize that we were going too often when we actually take the time to slow down and we get that amazing feeling of in the zone training sessions just day after day after day. So I can only stand here and tell you to take the time and get the sleep that you need between your training sessions. I can't force you to do it, but I can tell you that with passion, once you do that, you will feel so much better and you'll actually progress at a faster rate just because you're getting more out of every single training session. I don't want you to be mediocre at training. I want you to be really damn good at training, and you need to have your recovery in check to be that damn good. So let's see you, Anonymous, get more optimal recovery hours in, get your sleep, and you're going to start to feel better, more focused, more energized, and overall stronger in the gym. You're going to be more of a balanced beast. So if you don't get a good night's sleep tonight, shame on you. It's time for me to close out this video, and as usual, I want you to have a great rest of your Wednesday afternoon. Like I always say, try to do something fun, train hard, eat well, spend the time the way that you want to spend the time. If you haven't subscribed to this channel already, please do so I can continue to bring daily knowledge from my brain to yours. And as always, I appreciate the views.